well, fourth floor will walk through. Let's see. So no mods on anything. Got healing set. Self-healing, but crouch, not sprint. So there's not a way to sneak attack these guys. So just kind of make sure you give yourself some space on those. All right. I'll leave that there, actually. All right, these guys. Hug the wall, and you can get around this guy. Let him hit me so that this guy will get ahead. Then I can take him out. Another good spot for wall trick is right here. Don't mess it up like I just did. And a lot of times for fourth floor, all I will do is clear these two rooms so I can get in here because I want that grenade. For this room, you can, again, hug the wall and sneak attack here. And then wall trick. Oh, come on. Try to keep them all. Actually, reason I am shifting these is if I end up doing the elevator trick, the dead bodies will also reset, and I don't want a dead body to reset into this next room with a turret. If you hug this wall, it's out of range. You can kill it with a modified Glock or an M16 or an AK, something with enough range, but I don't think the chest is worth it early on. Once you've got a little more built up, there's a little more time and or a little more ability to give up guns in a sense for what's in there. It's usually hit or miss as far as if you get good stuff. This next room is the frozen guys. So as soon as you enter it, they'll see there's not a way to sneak attack. So I generally will try and take out one or two and then do an elevator trick to reset. Don't let them hit you, they heal. Actually worked out well. I was able to get both of the smaller ones so I can try to wall trick these bigger guys. If not, I'll either go back to that first room and run around the pile of stuff to get it to give me some space, or I will use the elevator trick to reset them so I can try and drag them out a little more, give myself some space that way. Oh, come on. All right. For the cold rooms, you want to just run through them as quickly as possible. No, don't ever stay in and fight in there. For this spot, these are the heavier turrets. They do have the ability to shoot grenades at you, and they take a lot to wear down. So this first one, I just run past. Once you get the sprint ability, it's a little bit easier. But I generally will use med kits up until now to save my self-healing and give it time to refill so that I can simply hit it ahead of time and run past. The second one is a little bit tougher to do that too, because the door at the other end and then there's frozen zombies, so I rather just take the time to take this one out. And I use burst shots so that I don't miss. I don't want to waste any ammo. These things are time consuming enough to kill anyway and use a fair bit. So if you use burst, you tend not to miss, as you notice. And it's going to use more than an entire M16. Should still have enough for the last couple of turrets. Awesome heat sensor. That is going to make it tough, is deciding if I want to give anything up. Alright, another frozen room. The bloater is obviously closer. As you can see, my guy's trying to target it. I'd rather take out the smaller guy first. So let's see if I can target him real quick. Nope. Anyway. Their timing always seems to be a little bit off from their hit and heal compared to other zombies, so it makes it a little tougher to figure out the timing. There we go. All right. This particular room is one that I hate the most just because if you reset here or with the Frenzied Giant right after it, you have to make the tough decision of, do you just fight through the mistake, or do you run back through the turret and do a elevator reset. If they do mess up the wall trick, you want to actually lead them into the frozen room, circle around real quick, and then try and wall trick again, but you don't want to be stuck on the frozen side. Right here, you're going to want to kind of go a little bit down toward that end. If you hit that one, that's fine. I usually get hit by one, and then I'm going to use food to heal since I need some anyway. You cannot sneak attack him, so I generally will use a gun to shoot him long enough to get him chasing me, and then I'll come over here and wall trick him. So I don't want to, again, deal with him in a frozen room. And without mods, you're not going to have enough time to kill him in that first room. Of course. And that right there is why I want to kill that turret, so I have the ability to get out of the cold. There we go. All right. So you just want to be quick enough and try and squeeze between those. All right. Halfway done, that gets us back to this first room. And I am going to... go get the stuff that I missed that I want. That is definitely worth it. I don't think the ore is, if you really need the copper, great. You can always go back for it. But it takes 5 ore to even get 1 bar, so I'm... Actually, just gonna leave the grenade there too. Alright, switching back to the AK right here. This line right here gives you just enough space where you can take down the turret without getting shot. And then same thing with this one. You can see why I skipped that first turret. It's a heavier turret, and it took, one of the heavier turrets took more than an entire AK. I was able to take those 2 down with just a little over half of one. Alright, so that's what's in there. I'm going to save that and come back to it, since at the end I'll be able to empty out my inventory. For this one, if you've got a modded machete or a katana will work also. I'm going to use saw blade mace here because these spitters have 100 health, and so a sneak attack won't kill them with an unmodded machete. It's got to have at least 34 damage to do it. So you sneak attack this one, run for the elevator, try to get those guys to catch on that, and then elevator trick. Don't damage them at all, or it will ruin the ability to sneak up on them. So just run straight for the elevator. For the second one, you want to hug this wall, stay really close, because that further spitter will notice you if you go too close to the center of the room. There we go. Just go there. And then the nice thing with this one is you can get far enough away from the abomination that he does not see you if you sneak attack. So you won't have to do the elevator trick again. Alright. Actually going to get onto this side so that go ahead and just wall trick him. Oh, come on. Hit. Load up all the stuff I want in that box, so it's all in one spot and easy for me to get to when I'm ready to take the loot. Well, that's not fair. For this giant, you can, if you just want the box, come over here and loot it. He won't see you, and I got awful stuff again. You can also, it's a little trickier, but you can sneak attack him through that door. There's a long hallway with another heavy turret and a box. I don't think the loot for that particular box is worth the heavy turret, but again, if you get to the point where you've just got a ton of stuff and you don't mind wasting some guns to get whatever's inside, have at it. If you do decide to sneak attack him, just remember that Frenzied Giants have a longer hit range, so make sure you've got enough health to take one hit from him. Oh, red ticket at least. Alright. Another set of frozen zombies. So, prepping with guns, I'm not... taking chances. Just run around. Alright, so I got those guys. I am now going to wall trick this guy. Why is it not hitting? There we go. Alright. For here, make sure you have at least 60 health, or if you prefer, like I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit the auto heal. Hug the wall this end, because it's really hard, if not impossible, to avoid getting hit by those. And if you hug the close wall, there's a vent right here in this room that can hit you with some cold, so. Alright. There we go. I just take him out with a Glock, and then sneak attack this guy. But you gotta stay back enough to draw him in. These guys will all attack as soon as one of them sees you, so I'm just gonna draw them all in and take them out as I go. If you draw the Frenzied Giant, there we go. Make sure you draw him and then lead him with enough space where you can get along the bottom wall, so that when you do get around him, you can wall trick him. All right. And that is it as far as zombies, so you're now free and clear to loot. So hopefully that was helpful. I didn't use anywhere near as much as I expected I would. So, oops. A couple more grenades. Awesome.